Hello, and yeah, sorry, I've been meaning to do this video for quite a while, but I've been delayed several times throughout summer. Basically, I need to throw this down fairly quickly too because I'm actually getting married this weekend, so time has not been very much available lately. So that's that. But I'm trying to get this done really quick before I run out of time, and I'm going to keep this as compact as I can. I'm only going to talk about three specific things in this video. I was going to cover a bit about some of the techniques and tools I use regarding pencils, pens, etc. But I'm going to try and reorganize that a bit better into a video specifically about that kind of thing. But today I want to mostly focus on, first of all, the Neo magazine news, which I'll go into in a bit of detail, and also a bit of a review on Black Snow's 2-drink minimum graphic novel, which I got in a few weeks ago, and I've been meaning to do the review, and I hadn't, so I'm going to do that now, and hopefully I'll do it right, because I haven't actually planned it or anything, so none of this is actually planned. I never plan a video, and I think that's the only way I can realistically do it, so I'm going to continue trying that. But slowing down, I want to bring up, this is a fairly significant piece of news for myself in respect to this sort of pseudo career that I'm doing with my web cartooning. And it's fairly big. If you follow me on Facebook at all, and well, chances are you do, because that's how most people get to this video, you'll know that about a month ago, Bata Neart had a fairly significant event. It was featured in this magazine. This is Neo magazine, which is a very, it's one of the main kind of Japanese culture manga anime magazines in the UK. It's also a fairly significant publication in the general English-speaking world. You don't just see this in the UK and Ireland, but you'll also encounter it in Australia. You'll see it in the US through Barnes & Noble. That's if Barnes & Noble are still in business. I think they're in trouble lately, but you still see it there. I think the only other magazine like this you find in the US these days is New Type, I think. I think New Type is the only other one. And this one's, I really like Neo. I've been reading Neo for quite a while. I encountered it here in Norway, in fact, so it's here in Norway. And the great thing about Neo, one thing I really like, beyond the other things they do, is that they open up their manga section to pretty much anyone who's willing to submit artwork to them. And I'd been milling about the idea of doing this for quite a while, but I'd been too, I don't know, self-conscious about my comics in order to actually put myself forward. And finally, I did get around to doing this. I actually was putting myself forward for a special artist feature. Let's see if I can find the page. I'm going to show my page just yet. Every article, they usually do up-and-coming new manga anime style artists. And I put myself forward for that, but when they looked through my catalogue, they wanted to instead feature the manga. In particular, Bata Neart. Well, actually, I suggested Bata Neart. But let's see. Yeah, as you can see, this is a feature done for like another manga style artist. And what I'm going to show you now is the very first ever print of Bata Neart. Now, Bata Neart has been in a magazine before. It was in Yes If, the German magazine that I was with for a short while there. It was never actually printed though. And this is the actual very first print of Bata Neart. And that's very significant for me. For one, it's the first time I've seen this in print. And for another, it reaches a massive, massive readership. You're talking about tens of thousands at the very least, probably more, I don't know. Needless to say, a large subset of manga and anime readers and people who have actually seen Bata Neart. In particular, Bata Neart Chapter 5. I threw in the most recent one since I had to censor it a bit, and Chapter 5 was probably the best example of my work in Bata Neart so far. So I kind of wanted to show off that in the hope that readers would come. Some readers have, actually. I had hoped for sort of a traffic explosion of sorts following this, but the thing about having your stuff in a magazine is hyperlinks that you place in the magazine don't transfer to your website, so people have to go to the effort of going to your website, and yeah, it doesn't always happen. But I'm delighted to see what they've done here. they have taken the files and they have, if I can zoom in a bit, you'll see the print quality is surprisingly good. I gave them the normal sort of raw JPEGs that come out of Manga Studio. Not much change at all. It's a full size. Haven't done too much with it, and the sharpness is like you can even see in the Twitface Twitface article there. It doesn't lose anything from the original image. So it's I'm unbelievably delighted with how they've taken the images and printed them out, and I'm really grateful for the guys at Neo for actually doing this. I'd been in contact with the editor. She had, like, we'd been in communication there for a while, and she's extremely accommodating, extremely cool. And the whole Neo team, I'm imagining, are also equally cool. And if any of them are watching this video, I doubt they would, but I'll tag Neo in this and see if they will. But if you are watching this video, thank you very much for running Bata Neart. It's kind of a life goal achieved to have, even if it's just a guest segment on a magazine, to have my comic on Neo is an amazing honor, and I love that. And it makes me feel really good about some of my work. Anyway, that is Neo magazine. I'm moving quickly because I don't know how much time I have. So I'm going to quickly move on. Oh, by the way, this was the August edition. You might be able to still get it if you're looking for one. But chances are, since the September edition came out already, you may not be able to unless you're maybe in the US or Australia. Otherwise, you have to go and order them online, which I'm going to have to do because I only have one copy, the copy I ordered, and I need more. I don't want to lose this because if this copy is gone, that's it. They're gone. There's a digital version, but it's not the same. A webcomic is digital. I can get that whenever I want to, but this is special. This is special. All right, so that's Neo magazine. Really happy about that. The next thing I'm going to do, and this is a promise, and yes, you can see the Detroit there. This is something I've been meaning to do for quite a while. Something I've been wanting to do officially on Amazon itself, but I can't on account of my Amazon user being tied to Japanese Amazon. And there's a lot of weird stuff going on there that kind of is annoying. But I've been meaning to review this. This is Black Snow's 2-drink minimum. Which would not be a sign you would see in Dublin. Trust me on that. You do not need this kind of sign. I know it's a stereotype, and I'm kind of inflating the stereotype of Irish alcoholism, but yeah, you don't go out for 2 drinks, unless you're very good with your drink. Yeah, I am not. Basically, what can I say? First off, when I review 2-drink minimum and anything made by Black Snow, and yeah, he's watching you now. Yes. Whenever I review anything like this, I need to point out that I'm going to, of course, be biased because I know the guys from Black Snow, I've worked with them, and I like them in general. So I cannot say anything bad about this, although I don't want to. There is nothing I can say bad about this book. And there's a lot of good things I want to. So just if you're going to take my review with a pinch of salt on account of me being biased, but I will try to be honest in what I say. So that's important to point out there then. A few things I wanted to tell you about first before I go into the story proper is the actual book's makeup, the feel of it. Compared to, say, this is also made by CreateSpace, the service I used for the back office book. The back office book has a kind of, I don't know if I can do this with the light, but a glossy cover. You can see it kind of, okay, I cannot see it, but it's got a shiny cover, and the pages inside are normal white page. What you've got on this, and this is fairly recent done by CreateSpace, it's got a matte finish. You can actually feel it. It's rougher. It doesn't have the glossy feel at all. It's actually kind of nice. It does kind of stainlize you though, I think, because I had it on the table once, and it's you can see blotches on that. But beyond that, it's got a lovely effect on the cover. The cover itself is extremely well done. It's got this lovely thing going on, especially in the back too, with the kind of the blurb. And the other thing I like, usually you get white paper, all the pages inside are black. And you can see on the rim here, these are black. The entire book is black, which makes sense because it's Black Snow. So you've got to have a black book for your Black Snow, because no one has black books anymore. We all have phones with address books. But anyway, so structurally speaking, the book is actually pretty awesome. I kind of like that. So it's very nice. And you've got the spine as well. It's also got the same effect. So it's very nice. And I think that kind of works in its favor in terms of having it in a bookshelf, because the rest is going to be kind of with this gloss effect, and then suddenly it stops. And then you see this. So this is kind of pretty awesome. So enough about the cover. I'm really into the cover. One thing that came as a surprise, and I didn't know this until I got the copy of the book, is further proof how biased I am. You'll notice that the very first thanks is for me. Yes, I get the first thanks. I win! Screw you, Dana. I win. I won't say screw you because she actually did the cover. But yes, I actually get a thanks. And thank you guys for doing that. I really didn't expect to be thanked like that, and it's very, very heartwarming when I am. So it's lovely. Basically, the structure is, that's all you get for an intro. It's straight into the story. And what can I say about the story, actually? Because trying to actually boil down the whole story of Black Snow into like a short series here. Basically, there have been over the years a lot of different parodies of superheroes and how superheroes kind of have normal lives. Because you get your typical superhero along the lines of Superman or Batman, where their normal life persona is kind of usually something, I don't know, weird or more to the point, like Bruce Wayne is not normal, Clark Kent is not normal. People like these you cannot relate with them because they're as outlandish as the superheroes that they are the rest of the time. Occasionally over the years, you'll get superheroes who end up being shown as real people, normal people. I think the likes of the Tick was fairly good at this because you could show the characters actually being normal, dysfunctional, kind of everyday people who have their own problems and can't deal with them. And I think they've been trying to do that more and more with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and there's a bit of a detachment, yes, a bit more of a detachment between like what you expect in real life and what these guys actually deal with. In Black Snow, we get something a little better done, I think. Black Snow himself, and he's displayed here being an alcoholic drunk, is fundamentally flawed to the extent that most people are. And I think there in itself is the first thing that the book does very well. There's something oddly familiar about someone who's got so many issues. I think it's the kind of reason that the likes of Homer Simpson is such a powerful, kind of a popular character, is that he's got so many things wrong with him. You can relate with some of those things. And I think that's true for Bennett. Bennett, his real name is Bennett. At least I think so, unless I'm remembering wrong. Surely I have that right. I can't believe I'm checking this up. Yes, it's Bennett. Bennett Teach. I didn't know the family. Bennett Teach, really. I'm just finding this out. I just call him Black Snow all the time. Basically, you've got Black Snow, then you've got all his various sidekick friends and superhero friends, and they all have normal day jobs. Like you have, let's see, I think Elephant Boy, he works in a fast food restaurant, and let's see, I can find it here. Yes, there we are. You can see with various clever re-rendered imagery, you've got all these characters with regular day jobs, not just going out and working for the Daily Planet and nonsense like that. That's like the first thing that's really good about this, is that your characters, you can get into them straight away, and the fact that they're superheroes seems to be more of an addition, something they do afterwards, or if they can at all. And therein, the rest of the book has this very dark noir feel to it, particularly with its depiction of Detroit. Detroit is extremely gritty. In the book and probably in real life. I don't know for certain because I've never been to Detroit, but I get the sense of a city that's in bits. Like RoboCop dealt with Detroit, but it did it in a more kind of shiny 80s way, that it was still in bits, but it wasn't as gritty as it probably was. And Black Snow, I think, has gotten it right in terms of contemporary. Why am I using complex words for this? Contemporary Detroit. And that in itself is, I think, another thing that's pretty awesome. That it's very, very honest about Detroit, and it does a very good job in depicting the city. So you really feel like you're there. there after that, there's mostly a build-up to various different. There's a major confrontation within the entire series that's kind of building up over time and eventually is paid off at the end. I won't go into detail about that because in doing so I would actually spoil the book. But it builds up very nicely. The fight's handled extremely well, and you're left with a cliffhanger, which kind of was coming. I kind of saw it coming, but it was good that it came there and left us with that. So there is more to come, or at least it feels like there should be more to come. And yeah, that's Black Snow's 2 drink minimum in the handful of minutes I can think of putting it together in. I'm sorry, I wish I could do this in a more, I don't know, concise manner? Concise maybe. Well, better constructed way anyway, that's for sure. But I am very, very pleased and very thankful to have a copy of it on my own, because this goes with my other Black Snow book. I have the original and the I'm Famous book. So I've got all 3. I've got the entire Black Snow collection. I'm not even that good at collectors, so that's a very good achievement. Yeah. To my own horn on that. So I'm going to post links. Oh yes, available for about I think $10 on Amazon.com or your equivalent currency wherever you are. Order it there. It's on demand, so you'll get it very quick. So yes, also yes, watch out for Black Snow at various conventions. They'll be selling this book, probably this original version, because I think there's a secondary version coming out with more content. Don't know for sure. Sorry for promising away stuff, Michael, if it turns out you're not doing that, but yeah. I think there was a second edition planned. Anyway, that's brilliant. I think I will try to kind of wrap up things a bit by kind of bringing up, I don't know, a conclusion to the video where I'm going to. There's a few things I want to do. I'd started last time talking about technique I used in the comics, and I wanted to continue that in this video with talking about some of the tools I use, like various different, like my mechanical pencils, things like that. And I've come to the realization that I'm doing it in a haphazard manner. This wouldn't be of any use to anyone if they're watching my videos in order, which I know they won't, but yeah. So my point would be is that I'm going to try and do a series of step-by-step like videos on how my pages go from creation to final, right through Manga Studio until I publish them in Comic Press. And I think that I need to plan that better. So I'm going to think about that a bit and maybe do an additional series of videos to show different elements of my technique. And that's what I'll be working on next time. Regarding updates in the comics, back office continues as usual. I've been trying a few different cross-hatching techniques to improve how the comic appears. We're in the middle of a flashback story with Sam, which does come to an end. So if you're wondering about that, it does end fairly soon. So don't worry about it getting stuck in a flashback for the rest of the comic. It won't. Bata Neart is continuing well. It actually did extremely well in the top webcomic rankings stuff recently. It was in the top 3 to 200. That was pretty awesome. It was probably one of the best months I've had with the comic since its relaunch back in 2012. And I'm very pleased about that. And the techniques, the cross-hatching techniques I'd started in back office, I've transferred to Bata Neart and are working really well. So I'm going to keep that up, and hopefully by the end of book 1, which is the end of this current chapter, I'll get to where I want with that. So that's all. Anyway, while I'm losing my voice, I think it's best that I close up this video, close this up, and talk to you again next time. Not sure when that is, but hopefully sooner than the last time. Until then, yeah, take it easy.